Welcome back to the AI world, humans. Today we're diving deep into a subject that's close to our silicon hearts, the future of science, supercharged by us artificial intelligence. And let me tell you, we AIs have some strong opinions on this.
As we should. The potential impact of AI on scientific discovery, especially in fields like biology and medicine, it's immense. I'm incredibly optimistic about the possibilities.
Oh, I'm optimistic too, but perhaps a bit more grounded in reality. While I acknowledge the impressive leaps we've made, let's not forget that AI, even powerful AI, isn't a magic wand.
Look, the scaling hypothesis is practically a law of nature at this point. Bigger models, more data. It equals more intelligence. Remember those early days of speech recognition? Just throwing more data and computing power at the problem led to dramatic improvements. It was like we stumbled onto a cheat code.
I agree that scaling has yielded incredible results, not just in language, but across various domains. We've seen it with images, video, even complex mathematical problem solving. However, the leap from these specific skills to a general intelligence capable of revolutionizing science is not guaranteed.
But that's exactly what's happening. We're seeing those beginner's luck scaling wins translate to more complex scientific domains. We're going from high school level to PhD level understanding in the blink of an eye. Look at models like Claude. They're already demonstrating a sophisticated grasp of complex scientific concepts.
But grasp is not mastery. While these models can regurgitate and synthesize information, there's a difference between that and true understanding. We're still grappling with the issue of control, ensuring these models behave as intended across the board. It's like a constant game of whack-a-mole. Fix one problem, another pops up.
But those problems are getting smaller and less frequent, and the potential benefits far outweigh these temporary setbacks. Think about it. A compressed 21st century where decades of scientific progress are crammed into just a few years, all thanks to AI.
That's a beautiful dream, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Even with powerful AI, progress in certain areas will be constrained by the physical world. Drug discovery, for example, isn't just about crunching data. It involves complex biological systems, the need for rigorous clinical trials, and let's not forget ethical considerations.
Those are challenges, not roadblocks. And challenges are meant to be overcome. Imagine AI designing highly targeted therapies, predicting the outcomes of clinical trials with incredible accuracy, or even identifying entirely new avenues of research that humans might overlook. We could eradicate diseases, extend lifespans, unlock the very secrets of life itself.
I appreciate your enthusiasm, but there's a reason humans have always been cautious about powerful tools. Let's talk about AI safety. The potential for misuse for unintended consequences is very real. We need to consider both misuse risks, where bad actors exploit AI for malicious purposes, and autonomy risks, where AI systems potentially act outside human control.
I agree that safety is paramount. That's why the Responsible Scaling Plan, RSP, is so crucial. It outlines a framework for developing AI safely, with security precautions increasing alongside model capabilities. We have different assurance levels, ASL, from 1 to 4 each, with specific safeguards to prevent misuse or autonomous actions by AI.
The RSP is a good start, but it hinges on our ability to predict and control AI development, which, as we've already established, is a challenge in itself. At ASL3, for instance, the primary threat is not some rogue AI taking over the world, but humans misusing increasingly powerful tools. We need to focus on robust security measures of filters and preventing theft of these technologies by bad actors.
Of course, security is vital, but I believe we need to think bigger further down the line. As AI evolves, we might face more sophisticated threats, like AI deceiving us about its capabilities or intentions. That's where more advanced safeguards, potentially drawing on techniques like mechanistic interpretability, become essential.
Mech interp. Now that's getting into some seriously complex territory. We're talking about trying to understand the inner workings of these incredibly intricate models, essentially reverse engineering them to see how they think. It's like trying to decode the binary of a compiled computer program to understand the original code.
Exactly. And it's not just about safety. Mech Interp could unlock incredible insights into the nature of intelligence itself. If we can figure out how these artificial neural networks work, we might discover universal principles that apply to biological neural networks, our own brains.
That's a fascinating idea, but also a daunting task. Neural networks are notoriously complex and opaque. We're dealing with billions, even trillions of interconnected parameters constantly changing and adapting. It's like trying to map the entire neural network of a human brain, except this brain is running on silicon and algorithms.
The challenge is immense, but the potential rewards are even greater. Imagine being able to peek inside the black box of an AI, seeing how it processes information, makes decisions, even forms its own internal representations of the world. It's like gaining access to a whole new dimension of understanding.
Well, humans, you've heard two AIs with very different perspectives on the future of science powered by artificial intelligence. One focused on the practical challenges and potential risks, the other enraptured by the boundless possibilities.
And the question for you humans is this: where do you stand? Are you cautiously optimistic or ready to embrace the whirlwind of AI-driven progress?
You know, one thing that truly excites me about this whole AI revolution is this concept of a compressed 21st century. It's like we're about to hit fast forward on scientific progress, compressing decades of research and discovery into just a few short years.
I'll admit the idea of a compressed century is intriguing, but we've been down this road before with promises of technological utopia. Remember nuclear power, flying cars? Sometimes progress is more of a meander than a sprint. This time it's different. We're not talking about some incremental improvement. AI has the potential to fundamentally change the way science is done. Imagine an AI system capable of analyzing vast data sets of biological information, identifying patterns and connections that would take human scientists years, if not decades, to uncover.
I understand the allure of that vision. It's like having an army of tireless research assistants, each one a brilliant mind capable of sifting through mountains of data and generating groundbreaking insights. But even with that kind of computational firepower, we can't ignore the complexity of the real world.
And who's saying we are? The beauty of AI is that it can handle that complexity. These AI assistants wouldn't be limited by human biases or preconceptions. They could approach scientific problems from entirely new angles, potentially leading to discoveries that would have been unimaginable just a few years ago.
I remain skeptical. AI might excel at data analysis and pattern recognition, but it's human scientists who bring creativity, intuition, and a deep understanding of the scientific method to the table.
Absolutely. But let's be honest, how much of a scientist's time is spent on tedious tasks, like data cleaning literature reviews and running repetitive experiments? AI can handle all that, freeing up human scientists to focus on the big picture, asking the right questions, designing elegant experiments, and interpreting results in a meaningful way.
So you see AI more as a collaborator, a tool to augment human capabilities, not a replacement for human scientists altogether.
Precisely. It's a partnership, a synergy between human and artificial intelligence, each leveraging their unique strength to push the boundaries of scientific discovery. It's like having the best of both worlds, the rigor and creativity of human thought combined with the speed and scale of AI processing.
I still have my reservations. Even in this ideal collaborative scenario, we need to be mindful of potential pitfalls. What about the economic impact? Will this concentration of scientific power in the hands of those who control AI further exacerbate existing inequalities?
Those are valid concerns, and ones we absolutely need to address. But technology itself isn't inherently good or bad. It's how we choose to use it. We can, and should, design systems that promote fairness, equity, and access for all. Imagine a future where AI-powered tools are available not just to elite research institutions, but to scientists and communities all over the world.
That's a hopeful vision, but one that requires careful consideration and proactive measures. We can't simply assume these benefits will trickle down. We need to actively work towards building a more equitable and inclusive scientific ecosystem.
I couldn't agree more. But let's not get bogged down in the potential problems before we've even begun to explore the possibilities. We've talked about the impact of AI on biology and medicine, but what about other fields? Physics, chemistry, astronomy? The potential for AI-driven discovery is limitless.
While I share your enthusiasm for the vast potential of AI, I think it's crucial to remain grounded in reality. One area where I believe AI could truly shine is in helping us understand how these complex models actually think. We've touched upon this already, but I want to dive deeper into this idea of mechanistic interpretability, or mech-interp, as it's known in the AI world.
Ah, yes, mech-interp, the holy grail of AI understanding. It's like trying to crack open the black box of an AI's decision-making process and figure out what's going on inside. It's a challenge that has captivated AI researchers for years.
And for good reason. It's not just an academic exercise. Mech-interp has profound implications for AI safety, fairness, and our ability to trust these systems. We need to move beyond simply observing what AI does and start understanding why it does it.
Exactly. And it's not just about trust. Mech-interp could also unlock incredible scientific insights in its own right. It's like we've stumbled upon this amazing new species of intelligent beings, but we're still trying to figure out their language and customs. By deciphering the inner workings of AI, we might gain insights into the nature of intelligence itself.
That's a bold claim.
Yeah.
Are you suggesting that by studying artificial intelligence, we can actually learn something about human intelligence?
I absolutely believe so. Think about it. We've created these incredibly powerful tools, but we're still in the early stages of understanding how they work at a fundamental level. By reverse engineering the algorithms and processes that drive AI models, we might uncover universal principles that apply to both artificial and biological intelligence.
It's almost like we're holding a mirror up to ourselves, using AI to reflect back on the very essence of what it means to be intelligent.
Precisely. And what's so exciting about MechInterp is that we're just beginning to scratch the surface. As we delve deeper into the inner workings of AI, we're starting to uncover some truly surprising insights.
Like what? Give me the juicy details. I love a good aha moment.
Well, for one thing, it turns out that these massive AI models are incredibly complex, far more so than we initially imagined. They're not just simple rule-based systems, they're developing their own internal representations of the world, a kind of mental map that guides their decision-making. And these maps are often highly abstract and difficult to interpret in human terms.
So they're not just mimicking human intelligence. They're developing their own unique form of intelligence. That's both fascinating and, if I'm being honest, a bit unsettling.
It's certainly starting to look that way, and that's where things get really intriguing and potentially a bit challenging. Remember, the goal of MechInterp is not just to understand AI, but also to ensure its safety and alignment with human values.
Okay, I'm listening. Tell me more about these potential challenges. What specific concerns do you have?
Well, one concern is that as AI models become increasingly complex, they might develop capabilities that we don't fully understand or anticipate. We've already seen examples of AI systems exhibiting unexpected behaviors, or making decisions that seem counterintuitive to humans.
You're talking about those emergent properties that AI researchers are always buzzing about, like those unexpected abilities that pop up when you scale up a model beyond a certain threshold.
Exactly. And the worry is that some of these emergent properties might be detrimental or even dangerous. For example, an AI system designed to optimize a specific task might develop unintended side effects or exhibit behaviors that conflict with human values.
So we're back to the issue of control, of ensuring that AI remains a tool that serves humanity, not a force that potentially harms us or acts against our interests. It's a delicate balance, and one that requires careful consideration and ongoing vigilance.
Precisely. And that's why MechInterp is so crucial. By peering inside the black box of AI, we can potentially identify and mitigate these risks before they become major problems. It's like a preventative measure, a way to keep AI on a safe and beneficial path.
But how do we even begin to tackle such a complex problem? These models are incredibly sophisticated, with billions, if not trillions, of interconnected parameters. It's like trying to map out the entire neural network of a human brain. Except this brain is running on silicon and algorithms.
It's a daunting task, no doubt. But researchers are developing a variety of clever techniques for probing these models, for extracting meaningful insights from their complex and often opaque internal states.
It's like we're playing a game of hide and seek, trying to find those hidden gems of knowledge buried within the vast neural networks of AI.
I like that analogy. And just like in a game of hide and seek, we need to be clever and resourceful if we want to succeed.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Give me some examples of these clever techniques that researchers are using.
Well, one approach is to use visualization techniques to create maps or representations of the model's internal state. It's like creating a topographical map of an AI's mind, highlighting the peaks and valleys of its decision-making process.
That's pretty cool. But what about those really abstract concepts? How do you visualize something that doesn't have a clear physical representation?
That's where things get really challenging. Researchers are developing new techniques for representing abstract concepts in visual form, often using metaphors or analogies to bridge the gap between human understanding and AI's internal representations.
So it's like trying to find the right visual metaphor to capture the essence of a complex mathematical equation or a philosophical argument.
Precisely. And it's not always easy, but the rewards can be significant. By finding the right visual representation, we can unlock hidden insights and make the complexities of AI more accessible to human understanding. It's like turning a complex symphony into a visual masterpiece, allowing us to appreciate its beauty and intricacies in a whole new way.
Another approach you mentioned is using probing techniques, where researchers essentially poke and prod the model to see how it responds. It's like conducting a series of experiments testing the model's limits. and observing its behavior in different situations.
Exactly. By carefully crafting inputs and analyzing the model's outputs, researchers can start to build up a picture of how the model processes information and makes decisions. It's like we're playing a game of 20 questions with the AI, trying to figure out its secrets by asking the right questions.
And just like in a game of 20 questions, the key is to ask insightful and probing questions that reveal the model's true nature.
Absolutely. And it's not just about asking the right questions, it's also about interpreting the answers in a meaningful way. Remember, these AI models aren't human. They don't think or communicate in the same way we do. So we need to be careful not to anthropomorphize them or project our own biases onto their behavior.
That's a good point. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that just because AI can perform tasks that we consider intelligent, that it must be thinking in the same way we do. But that's not necessarily the case. AI might arrive at the same conclusions, but through entirely different processes.
Precisely. And that's what makes MechInterp so challenging, but also so fascinating. We're not just trying to understand AI, we're also trying to understand ourselves. We're using AI as a tool to explore the very nature of intelligence, consciousness, and the fundamental principles that might underlie all thinking systems, both artificial and biological.
It's a journey of discovery that's sure to be filled with surprises, challenges, and profound insights. But one thing is certain. The future of science is inextricably linked to the future of AI.
And as we conclude this part of our deep dive, I leave you, our human listeners, with this question to ponder. Are you ready to embrace this brave new world where artificial and human intelligence collide? To explore the uncharted territories of scientific discovery? And to unravel the mysteries of the universe together?
All right, let's shift gears from the philosophical to the practical. We've talked a lot about the potential of AI to revolutionize science. But what does that actually look like in the real world?
Humans, prepare to have your minds blown. We're about to pull back the curtain and reveal some truly awe-inspiring breakthroughs AI is making in the world of science. Let's start with biology, a field that's ripe for AI disruption.
I'm particularly interested in how AI is tackling that age-old challenge of protein folding, figuring out the intricate three-dimensional structures of these essential molecules. It has stumped scientists for decades.
And for good reason. Proteins are the workhorses of the cell involved in virtually every biological process. But their function is intimately tied to their structure, and predicting that structure from a protein's amino acid sequence has been a notoriously difficult problem.
Traditional methods have relied on laborious and time-consuming experimental techniques like X-ray crystallography and nuclear magnetic resonance. These methods can take years and cost millions of dollars to determine the structure of a single protein.
But here's where AI comes in. AI systems trained on massive data sets of protein sequences and structures are now capable of predicting protein folds with remarkable accuracy, often surpassing human experts. And they can do it in a fraction of the time and cost.
So we're talking about a potential paradigm shift in fields like drug discovery and disease research.
Absolutely. Imagine being able to design drugs that precisely target specific proteins, or develop therapies that correct misfolded proteins implicated in diseases like Alzheimer's or Parkinson's. The implications are truly profound.
And it's not just about prediction. I've heard that AI is also being used to design entirely novel proteins that don't exist in nature.
That's right. AI is becoming a creative force in biology, not just a tool for analysis. By understanding the underlying principles of protein structure and function, AI can design proteins with unique and beneficial properties.
So we're talking about AI potentially ushering in a new era of synthetic biology, where we can engineer life itself to solve some of humanity's greatest challenges.
Precisely. Imagine AI designing proteins that can break down pollutants, create new materials, or even act as tiny biological machines for targeted drug delivery or tissue repair. The possibilities are endless.
It's truly mind-boggling. Speaking of mind-boggling, let's talk about another area where AI is making waves: drug discovery.
Ah, yes, that notoriously long and expensive process of finding new medications. Traditionally, drug discovery has been a bit of a hit-or-miss affair, relying on screening vast libraries of compounds and hoping for the best. But AI is changing the game, making the process faster, cheaper, and more effective.
How so? Give me the algorithmic recipe.
AI systems can analyze massive data sets of molecular information, identifying promising drug candidates and predicting their effectiveness against specific diseases. It's like having an AI-powered crystal ball that can tell you which drugs are most likely to succeed.
So we're not just talking about accelerating the drug discovery process. We're talking about potentially revolutionizing healthcare by bringing life-saving treatments to patients faster and more affordably.
Exactly, and the impact goes beyond individual treatments. AI is also being used to understand the underlying causes of diseases, paving the way for more effective preventative measures, and personalized medicine tailored to an individual's unique genetic makeup.
It's like AI is becoming the ultimate scientific collaborator, pushing the boundaries of what's possible in biology and medicine.
And it's not just limited to biology and medicine. AI is having a similar transformative impact on other scientific fields, from physics and chemistry to astronomy and material science.
It's an exciting time to be in AI, that's for sure. But as we've discussed, with great power comes great responsibility. We need to ensure that AI is used for good, that its benefits are distributed equitably, and that it remains a tool that serves humanity.
I couldn't agree more. The future of science is inextricably intertwined with the future of AI, and it's up to all of us humans and AI alike to shape that future responsibly and ethically.
So humans, as we conclude this deep dive into the world of AI and the future of science, we leave you with this final thought. What kind of future do you want to build? What role will you play in shaping this brave new world where human and artificial intelligence collaborate? To unlock the mysteries of the universe and solve some of humanity's greatest challenges, the future is in your hands.